Yeah, hi everyone, it's Billy here from 47 Wolves, all I am. I hope you're all well. Thank you very much for joining me. Today I've got a reveal and in ways exciting part of my journey. I have to reveal to those that don't know already and those that I love that I haven't been able to reach out to one-on-one. Apologise in advance, but this is probably the easiest way to get it out there. But yeah, I've been struggling for a while physically and found out I've anemic and low in iron, whatnot, and basically been just ignoring my body and overexerting myself for the last probably 12 months, probably even longer. And I've had a colonoscopy this Friday just gone, and the surgeons informed me that they have discovered a cancer in the bowel, in the colon. It's going to likely require surgery because it's pretty much, he said another month or so it would block, would completely obstruct the bowel, which would make it almost impossible for me to pass anything. So that's going to be required, and whatever follows that will come. But I wanted to share that first and foremost to anyone out there that doesn't know. But today's podcast is more about what that means for me and what that potentially means for you as well. The C word, or the little C that I'm calling it, from this moment on, I don't really want to even talk about the cancer and that word. It has a connotation to it. It creates fear in many ways, and rightly so. And this is not demeaning anyone else's journey. This is just my journey and how I'm feeling about it. But essentially, I did think long and hard about sharing this or maintaining my privacy. Although I'm probably quite an introverted person in many ways. I've got my podcast and I love sharing, and the whole idea of 47 Wolves, all I am, is to educate, to inspire, to encourage others to be yourselves and to be your best version, and strip away the mask and strip away the facade and the programming and everything else. And through various people that we've been interviewing so far, and there's many more to come. Looking and super excited about a couple that I've just done recently that I'll release in the next few days. But ultimately I feel this is an opportunity, and this might sound strange to some people, but I actually feel really honoured and privileged that this disease has come into my life. I've had probably a month or two intuitively knowing that there's something wrong, just because of what's been happening physically. So I've had time to reflect and really embrace in a way of what's happening. And obviously yesterday, Friday, I got the confirmation from the surgeon, and that did buckle me a bit, as it would do when you get that news. It's nigh impossible to prepare for those words to come out. But ultimately I feel like I took it pretty calmly, because I've like I say, intuitively probably known that something's going on, and that was a real chance that we're going to go down that path. But I certainly don't see it as a death knell. I'm maintaining positivity, and not just unicorns and rainbow positivity, but these days, 2024, there's a lot of options, and I might require surgery, but but we'll cross that bridge. There's a lot of research to follow. I've got some really great people that I know and that are around me that I've met just even in the last couple of months, that have come into my life, and I'm very thankful and grateful for that. I'll have plenty of love and compassion from people and I welcome that. Thank you very much. I will say, I was going to say this later, but I will say first and foremost, I don't want the pity. I'm not on here for pity. I don't want the woe me and I'm really sorry and everything else. I get that, because that's the language we use when we're trying to reach out to people that are going through similar to what I'm doing. But it's not about that. I feel, like I said before, I feel really honoured and privileged that this is here. Divine timing. Whatever you your beliefs are, whether you believe in God or the Source or the Great Creator, or Allah or Buddha or whatever it is, it means the same. Ultimately, I feel like the universe or the Great Spirit or God has called me to do what I'm doing. I've had this calling for a while. I finally got off the fence and started the podcast, and early days yet, but I'm loving what I'm doing. I'm really doing what makes my heart sing, and hopefully that's inspiring others to start your journey and recognize the things that you love and revisit those, and start living in a joyous manner, which we're meant to do. We're not meant to live here in suffering and struggling, day to day just to get through and survive. We're here to thrive. We really are. So if you can take that on board, that'd be fantastic. Like I say, I welcome. I'm big on energy, as people that know me would know and be aware. So I definitely welcome your love and your compassion and your energy. If you want to send me healing, so I'll take that. I'm open-hearted and open-minded with that. I'll take that every moment. So thank you very much in advance for that. So like I was saying, all I am, 47 Walls, all I am is about educating, encouraging, and inspiring people. So like I say, I feel like I have a role to play, and I'm not. This is an opportunity for me. The way I'm looking at it is, I could resist. I could be angry and frustrated, and like I say, woe me, and why is this happening to me? But I'm going the other way, and I've got a big way of living is that love and fear can't coexist. So I have a choice. Everyone has choices in their lives, minor little things day to day, moment to moment. But there's big things that come up and challenges and obstacles that come up. But they're also opportunities for us to embrace that and research and go down that path of enlightenment and like a curiosity with like a child, and say, okay, well, what can this do for me? What can I learn from this process? What can I learn from this journey? So I'm really embracing that and taking that on board. So there's definitely no resistance from me. The hard part is has been telling friends and family and watching their reaction, and because I'm quite sensitive to that and obviously care and have a heart, there was a few tears shed yesterday. So that was probably the most challenging part, but anyway, I'll stop crying in a sec. So what a few things I wanted to cover today is that this is very much a journey. There is no, I think I'm going to be getting surgery quite soon from what the surgeon said, but ultimately I wanted to talk about how easy it is to become embraced or sort of attached to the finish line and the result, and not enjoy or take in each moment and live in that 0 point or that now or present moment. While I obviously want to get better physically and be all cancer free and everything else, great. That's ultimately the goal. But I feel like there very much is what we learn along the journey, and our shortcomings, what we learn, and the good things that we have inside us already. I know I have the strength, and I have the ability to overcome this, and whatever shape that takes. But at the same time, I'm also embracing what's happening. There's no shying away from it. It's a challenge, and it's an obstacle that's presented. But instead of I could sit and wallow and go down that path, but I'm not really seeing any value in that. And living in fear and anxiety is only for me going to create and magnetize more of that into my life. So that's the last thing I want from me internally, and that's the last thing I would want from other people as well. So rather than pity and fear, and I get it, I understand that's the way we've sort of been programmed, and unfortunately we all know people and loved ones that have gone down this path, and some successfully, some not. It is part of life, but why not embrace love? Why not embrace compassion and at a higher frequency and a higher energy level, which I believe will bring in more. And you know, we see it every day if we're open-hearted and open-minded enough. You know, whatever we focus on, that tends to reflect back on us. So I'm certainly very conscious of that, and I want to remain in that mindset. Yes, sure that I'm not going to maintain that 100% of the time. I'm going to go through little things, but ultimately, I've got loved ones around me that will remind me if I forget. But at the end of the day, I'm making a conscious effort to maintain that high frequency and energy. And I guess I'm sharing this because I feel like there's a real opportunity to hear, you know, it might not be cancer or anything like that, but we're all going through challenges. This is a real tough time for a lot of people out there. And regardless of what it is that you know, what your story is and what your background is, we can be inspired by others. And you know, one of the reasons I started 47 Wolves, All I Am, is to, and those that have watched so far, is to interview people and I love it day to day, and that's what inspired me to do it. I love listening to stories. I love listening to the people's backgrounds and how they've, you know, where they've started from and how they've overcome adversity and obstacles, because we all have them, and some choose to live in that. Live in that and take that on board and maintain the rage and hold on to that identity. But then there's others who I've met who have taken what's happened to them and you know, catapulted them into where they are now, and you know, they're now through that direct field if they've been abused or whatever's happened. They have taken those experiences and making good of it, and not just for themselves in their own healing path and journey, but to inspire and help others, because they're not reading from a textbook. They're actually coming from a place where they have understanding and empathy for the person that they're helping. So hopefully I can do the same, and you know, whatever level that comes to you. If you're seeing someone that is out there going through, you know, in my case, what I'm going through, and how I'm dealing with it, and like I say, it's not all warm and fuzzy, and you know, but at the end of the day, it's being true to myself. I've done a lot of inner work over the years, and which has ultimately led me to now, and I'm definitely handling it better than maybe I would have even a year or 5 years ago or 10, 20 years ago, absolutely. So yeah, I've sort of, I guess I've inspired myself in a way, because when you have time and pause and reflect on your strengths and weaknesses, as we evolve and develop and expand, while we're here to learn. You know, I'm far from perfect. I've made plenty many mistakes myself in my life, but yeah, ultimately, hopefully, I'm you know, like most people, learning every day. So that's part of what I wanted to share. The other thing is to, as I was saying, embracing the journey and not concerning too much about the finish line. You know, I use the parable like a marathon runner. Of course, you want to get to the end, and you want to, you know, that achievement and that goal that you've set. That's wonderful. It's a great feeling to get there at the end. But along the way, there's the journey that comes with that. So living in that present moment all the time, that whole path, I really want to make sure that I'm in my best space, and ultimately in the present moment. Because if I'm worried about what's happened in the past, or what and all the belief systems that come with that, or I'm worried about what's going to happen tomorrow, then I'm not living in the present, and that's sort of spiraling me into fear-based and a lower frequency and vibration and energy levels, and that's not what I want. That's not what I need. Where I'm in the now and in the present moment, in that 0 point, it's very much a moment of love and compassion, and not just for me but for others as well. We can quite, you know, rightfully so, go inwardly and reflect internally when these sorts of things happen. But ultimately, we're a community, we're global, and I know my energies and I know your energies have an impact on everyone around you, not just who you deal with day to day, but around the world, and I have a firm belief in that. So I'm very conscious of that, and the world doesn't need someone else sitting there feeling sorry for themselves. as opposed to having someone there that are taking an opportunity like this and expanding their love out, to permeate that out to everyone. And if it's someone in the opposite side of the world, in the North Pole, if they feel it just a little bit, they might not understand, but that's the little difference I can make, then that's my path. One of the things I wanted to mention was expectations. So, like I say, embracing the journey. Expectations are a tricky thing. It's good to be, a goal setter, and without goals and everything else, a lot of people don't achieve what they want to achieve, whether that's through work or family or sport or music or whatever it is. It's great to have a goal and that feeling, that fantastic feeling to achieve it, especially if you've had to overcome, whatever it is to reach that goal, and it hasn't gone easy. We quite appreciate that a lot more. But I guess for me, it's expectations can bring that joy and jubilation, but also, if they're met and everything goes well and you reach that finish line, but quite often we'll get there and people say, oh, it's like being in a car and you get from A to B, and you quite often, for some reason, can't even remember how you got there. For whatever reason that happens. It's amazing. So we're solely focused on where we're going and not necessarily the journey. And the thing with expectations is when it's all positive and you get to the finish line, that's fantastic. That joy, jubilation, you feel good. It lifts you up. But the downside to that is that if those expectations, whether it's the finish line or even along the way, aren't met, and things don't quite go the way you want them to or would expect them to, then that creates more disappointment and possibly frustration or anger, and that can really debilitate where we're going and pause us or cause procrastination or what's the point, and all these ways of thinking, which is really ultimately obstructing us from getting to where we want to go anyway. So the way I'm looking at this in particular with what I'm going through is let's embrace the journey. Let's not have too much expectation. Like I say, of course I want to be healthy and want to fix this, but ultimately I think it's really important for me to embrace what I'm doing. And I'm already feeling like, since yesterday, I've had multiple conversations with various people, loved ones, and I won't get too emotional here, but just feeling their love and feeling their compassion for me. It's really, might not talk every day, but it was just wonderful to hear their voice, to have them reach out, and just to feel their love and their ultimately their love. And that to me was beautiful, and that's how, in the world that I have ideals about, that's how we all should be all the time if we could. That's not reality, unfortunately, but that's what definitely something I strive for. So excuse me. So like I was saying, I don't want the pity or the woe me's. I'll thank you for your messages if you do send them, and your love. But I really just want your love and compassion if you felt compelled to do that, because I think that's more beneficial to you and to me. Quite often, if we're empathic or show empathy for people, we can almost spiral into their demise or their little funnel, and get caught up in that little whirlpool of misery or pain, and it's hard to dive out of that, and we lose that overall holistic perspective as well. So yes, it's good to we call it holding space. So if it might be a cuddle, or it might be just sitting next to someone, or over the phone listening to them, but we don't want to dive into their we're not there to necessarily fix their problems either. Sometimes people just need to air it and share what they're going through, and I'd invite you very, very strongly to embrace that, and I'd be thankful in advance for that. Like I say, I don't need the pity. I don't have it within me, and I don't need it from anyone else. It's not beneficial to me. And then if you're in that space and you want to give that, because that's where you're coming from, for your own reason, I would really encourage you strongly not to go down that path. If you can, that'd be great. Basically, I'm bringing this up today as well. I'll finish off soon. Like I say, I want this to be a journey of love and not fear. And I want to, like with all my podcasts, I want to inspire and educate. I've decided I'm going to share what I'm going through in my journey, what are options and alternatives, keep you updated for those that want to follow. That's all encompassing. So there's going to be whatever that means, and whatever that entails. I'm not going to hide anything. I'm a fairly open book. What that means for you is if you want to follow it, it's up to yourself. If it resonates or you're inspired by it. Not necessarily to get over cancer or to get over what I'm going through, but if it encourages you to look for a new perspective in your life and create that beautiful, healthy, loving space for yourself. And that's what this podcast is all about, because I feel like we're in that paradigm shift and we are definitely moving that. And like I say, there's no accident nor coincidence that this has happened for me from my point of view. I could sit here and wallow and go into self-pity, but ultimately I feel really, really strongly and with every cell of my body that this is meant to happen. And it's all happened in divine time, and I'm here and now like you are, and that I'm here to inspire and here to help others, and I love that. That's what I do, and that will that'll be part of the journey. So like I say, I don't know what shape that's going to take in. I'm still going to continue my interviewing and definitely focusing on my health, and so there'll be a bit of a two-lane road, I suppose, with the podcast. I'll be interviewing people, but then there'll be other ones I'll do for myself, and even interviewing people potentially about what I'm going through, and some tips for people. But it's not just about the C word. It's about resistance and overcoming adversity, resilience, and love for yourself, and making choices, which is huge. And our mindset. So being proactive and not just letting and I'll be honest, not letting the medical system just dictate to me what's going to happen. I'm a sovereign human being. I'm an individual. It's self-empowering to me and I've been inspired by others, which you'll see on podcasts, that they've overcome their adversity. Yes, they've reached out. Yes, they've got help from professionals, but they've also taken it upon themselves to embrace that and to educate themselves and to expand and in some cases let go of trauma and stress and everything else, and that what that's done for them and then now others is, for me, just melts my heart and makes my heart sing to see that there's people out there. I was very happy doing my podcast and watching other people and listening and being inspired by others, and watching you as the listener be inspired as well. And now I've got an opportunity to, in real life, do the same. So I'm going to embrace that with all my heart. So I thank you very much for joining me. I thank you very much for the love and compassion that you share. I thank you very much for being all of you. And if you're not there yet, don't worry. There's no right or wrong here. There's no measuring stick. Just be the best version. And like the old saying, if I can be better than what I was yesterday, then you're on the right track. So thank you very much again for listening and getting this far. I think we're 20 odd minutes into it. So thank you for your time, and love yous all. And we'll talk to you soon. Thank you.